Scott, before we get started, we just want to tell you it's totally an honor to be joined by you, and we appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule to speak with Cage Religion Radio.
So happy to do it.
Now, let's jump right into things, Scott. Strikeforce has seen the most success in terms of longevity and overall star power in your roster. What do you feel has kept you guys going strong when so many other promotions have failed?
Well, actually, I think that's a really good question, and I attribute that to, we've been in the business, the martial arts fight business, since 1985. And we were doing kickboxing on ESPN, for the last 15 years. Then right before we started the MMA business, I worked for K1. I ran their North American operations for 10 years. And, so the natural progression to MMA was, a pretty similar transition to what my other core business was, which was just promoting martial arts events. So I think that when you look at like Affliction and IFL and Bodog and WFA and all these other companies that went under, their core business was really not the fight business, where ours have always been the fight business, and I've dedicated my whole life to it. So, I think that's taken a lot of the pitfalls and the hiccups and the big bumps in the road, out of our progression moving forward.
Now, Scott, we talked a bit earlier on the show about the recent rapid growth of Strikeforce's heavyweight division. It can honestly be argued that Strikeforce may have the deepest heavyweight roster around right now. Talk a bit about the direction of the heavyweights and some of the things we can expect to see in the coming months.
Well, honestly, if you look at this heavyweight division Strikeforce has, it's top to bottom. We're going to see some amazing fights. And, I think it is the most proven, tested, and best heavyweight division in MMA right now. And, we're going to put some amazing fights together, because what we're going to do next year is we're going to have all these guys fight each other. And the beauty of it is, you'll be able to tune in and watch it on Showtime for free and watch the best heavyweights in the world go at it.
Now, with Fabricio Verdum sidelined until early 2011, is there a possibility of a long-awaited showdown between Alistair Overeem and Fedor Emelianenko?
Well, with Fedor, we have one more fight with Fedor, and then, let's see where it goes from there. But, I think Alistair is fighting in the K1. Let's see how he does. He's going to fight a guy named Terrence Spong. Andreas Spong. Yeah, Spong is his last name.
Right.
In the K1. But, when we signed Alistair to a multi-year contract, we knew that every September he wanted to go and train and fight for K1 and be awarded the greatest striker in the world, and that's really what K1 is. If you win the K1 tournament, then you're the man as far as striking goes. And then he wants to, defend his title next year. Look, what kind of personal goal? That's an amazing personal goal to have accomplished if he can do it. But I think he has his hands full starting on December 4th. But after that, you'll see him, fighting for us in the beginning of 2011. Who he's fighting, a lot depends on, what happens in the next couple of weeks or the next month or so with Fabricio Verdum. But, like I said, the beauty of this is whether it's Josh Barnett, whether it's Bigfoot, whether it's Karatanov, Alistair, Fabricio Verdum, Fedor, we're gonna put all these fights together, and we're gonna put on the fights that the fans want to see, and we're gonna let these guys go at it and fight each other.
With the rematch of Dan Henderson and Babalu Sobral taking place on December 4th, where does a win for either of these fighters put them in terms of title contention?
Well, here is the Hendo fight against Babalu. I think that the winner will go on to fight Feijiao.
Now, with the recent signing of dangerous striker Paul Daly, his first test will be Scott Smith on December 4th. This is a fight that has Fight of the Year written all over it. How likely is it that these two can in fact steal the show?
I'll tell you, that's a really good question. And when I think about Scott Smith, this guy, have you ever seen Scott Smith in a boring fight?
No, absolutely not.
It just doesn't happen. The guy's just an exciting fighter. He brings his A game, and he'll bring it and keep going and going and going until either he's knocking the guy out or he's getting knocked out or something. And, and that's the same thing with Paul. He's a great striker. Worked a lot on his ground game. He's had some bumps and bruises along the way, and he's had his his hard moments against a wrestler or a submission fighter. Whereas, when you put him and Scott Smith together, it's just going to be, fireworks are going to begin, I think, in round one.
Scott, talk a bit about when fans can expect to see Strikeforce's return to CBS. Is there a time frame in place?
Well, we're definitely going to start picking up dialogue again next year with them, and we'll see how it goes. But, I don't want to make any promises on timeline, but it's something we're definitely going to keep trying to pursue.
Now, Scott, are there any plans for Strikeforce to break into the pay-per-view market in the future?
I would say, depending how, some fights go, there's a possibility that we will be in the pay-per-view business in 2011. But we're saying that. I mean, keep in mind, we are a premium cable product, and what I mean by that, Showtime is a premium cable station, and that is our television distribution partner. And it's been a great relationship. We really have flourished from having the ability to put these great fights on TV and growing our brand and growing, the fighter roster to now. We've got an amazing 185-pound division, great fights in the 155-pound, amazing heavyweight division now, whereas a year ago, heavyweight division was just growing. And so I think we've finally arrived in the heavyweight division, and Showtime's allowed us to do that. I'm very thankful to Ken Hershman for believing in us, and we're going to keep working hard at it. And so we're a Showtime product, and, when there's a fight that we feel we could sell on pay-per-view, we'll go do it.
Lastly, Scott, is there anything you'd like to say to the fans and the listeners?
Here's what I'd like to say is, Strikeforce MMA on a national scale has been in business 18 months. I think we've delivered some great fights for the fans. Keep supporting us. And, the beauty about Strikeforce is you can watch it for free on Showtime and watch all fights, for, a fraction of the cost. It's the greatest value for MMA out there. And, we're committed to bringing the best fights that we can in the world to the MMA fans out there. And just continue to support us and continue to support Showtime.